And as people of Migori is to concentrate and come up with issues that are affecting us that can help generate income for even the local people. Like when the issue of the Migori Teachers Training College getting maybe a constituent university of Rongo will be a plus to the Migori people. Because if, for example, it declares that place to be fully operational now, and we get 6,000 students, don't you look at it as that as something that will create a lot of jobs? We'll be having people making mandazi. If you make mandazi for 6,000 people, will you not be getting a lot of money?
You'll get money.
What about those with the rentals? So I think as Migori, let us unite. Let us come together so that we can tap the development that the president may bring to us.
I totally disagree with you, particularly the issue of Rongo University
coming to Migori.
Yeah, coming to Migori.
Yes.
Due to lack of finance, due to the fact that I don't know how to frame this. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's not coming clear. I wanted to say that people, there is high rate of unemployment.
Yes.
There is no money. How many parents do take their children to university?
I think let us take a typical example around here. Remember, Rongo University started from Migori. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
From me.
Just some few years ago. It started from Migori, and people of Migori did not embrace it at that particular time. And therefore, the former member of parliament, Mr. Dalmas, craved and took it to Rongo. And within these 3-4 years, you can see the kind of development that is now taking place in Rongo. And that is why when we try to borrow a leaf, we are now crying that if we get our own here, remember the cost of transport to the university will be reduced, cost of accommodation for our local people will be reduced.
How many students join university around here, around Migori County? How many students?
That is a very good question. When you ask how many students join university from Migori, then you ask yourself, what is the enrollment of students at Form 4 in Migori? So from the enrollment of students in Form 4, it's very easy. As like you know, I'm an economist and an educational planner. Before you project on the number that is going to join the TVET at the universities, it's not a must that all of them join the university. But the number of learners enrolled in 4th form and the projection of learners who can join the university is what is important. Look at St. Celestino and Nyangubo Girls. Last year alone, what was the candidate? Just look at, that is one school. And now let us project how many schools, 50 or over 200, one school, over 200 who managed to secure positions at the university. And that is one school. Now project all schools in Migori as a county. Let's say Suna West, Suna East. So how many schools do we have? Maybe as a media specialist, you know.
What if this issue of university ought to have been turned into National Polytechnic? How many students join National Polytechnics compared to the number of students join universities?
It's very good. Look at what our leaders are doing. Already we are coming up with one of the things that is bringing the president to Migori.
I'm talking about National Polytechnic.
Yes.
For example, we have Kisi National Polytechnic.
From Migori.
We have
from Migori.
We have Kisumu Polytechnic, that's a National Polytechnic. Kisumu Polytechnic is in Kisumu County.
Kisumu County.
Kisi National Polytechnic from Kisi
County.
We don't have a National Polytechnic within Migori County. Mwalimu, si kitu mungeweka hii National Polytechnic, how many number of students ought to have joined that institution?
Institutions
So
do
that
not, Mr. Koko, institutions do not just start from the national level. Remember even the university.
Yeah.
Universities do not just start, maybe president coming and declaring Migori as a full-fledged university. There is a procedure that is normally followed. Even those Kisii for a very long period of time, Kisii National Polytechnic was just a small TVET.
Yes.
So, and I think that is what is happening. We have Kakrao here. It has started so well. So for it to be upgraded, there are certain conditions that must be met. For us to have this university, there are certain conditions that must be met. It must start from a learning center, and when you check keenly, if you are very keen, and I believe...
Why did you people jump to university, yet we don't have National Polytechnic? You ought to have started by National Polytechnic.
We have a polytechnic at Kakra, which is just a stone throw away from Migori. We have Kababu here. We are coming up with another one in Pinyo.
When was the last time you visited Kababu? Go visit that place here.
You see,
it's like a bush.
Akoko, the point here is, you see, you don't just start building a house from the roof.
From the roof, yes.
You have to lay the foundation first. You see,
like I said it before, if you want to build a house, you
lay the foundation.
Lay the foundation.
Yeah.
Look at Kababu Polytechnic.
There is a point that
look at Kakra.
There is a point that Mr. Koko may not have. My colleague presenter here recently, we mobilized learners to join the TVET.
Yes.
It is just 3 months ago.
Yeah, 3 months ago.
Over 70. And that was initiated by the Member of Parliament of Suna West. There are students learning in our...
Molimu is campaigning for member of
No, that is a fact. That is a fact. And when you attended...
An institution that is not well equipped should no longer be called an institution.
Let me give you...
These are facts.
Let me give
an
you what's
institution
happening.
that is...
Get what is happening.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
Mwalimu approached me.
Yes.
And he said, Isaiah, we have a lot of students
in the village
who may not secure chances in the university.
Yeah. What do we do?
What do we do? And he brought up the idea that we can mobilize them, help them to register within the TVETs around. This will help them.
And you took them to Kababu. And
wait. Get facts. Get facts. This one may help you.
Yes.
After I consulted with professionals, it is me who initiated the issue of professionals in not necessarily Suna West. We started from our local place here. So we identified professionals. We identified students who did not secure opportunity to join the universities. We approached stakeholders who accepted. We approached stakeholders who are very willing to help us come talk to these students, not necessarily to join the education field. We talked to them, we had several professionals. So we talked to these students and we identified areas of their interest. And as I speak to you now, these students, some are in Mawego, some are in Kisii. Mawego. Just relax. Some, you know, we did not want to force them to join TVETs of our choice.
Yes.
Because remember the initial intention was to support them. So just give me time. Some decided to join Mawego.
Why?
Some went to Kisumu, and I can count them by names around here.
And
there are people I know. Some went to Kakrao, some joined Kababu, some went to Mabera, our neighbors here. And this was just to uplift the economic standard. And remember when you empower, we are here because we were empowered educationally. So when you empower an individual educationally, that is an individual who is fully developed. Yeah. So this is something that we need to embrace. And at times when
I'm a little bit confused, you're telling me you took some of those students to...
We did not take.
Akoko,
there is a difference between taking somebody to a place and empowering somebody to see light ahead.
I'm alluding to what he has just talked about.
Yes, that is...
I initiated the project. I initiated, yes.
After initiating such projects, you said A good number of students
Get-
joined Mawego. Others joined. It is not
Remember the reason.
I applaud you.
The reason as to why they joined Mawego and these other places are not Kakra.
Yes.
Remember that students who wanted maybe to do accounting, which is not offered at Kakra.
At Kakra.
Now, how do you force a student who is interested in doing a course which is not at Kakra to go to Kakra? So we gave them that freedom to go to TVETs where they could get courses of their choice.
Bring all those courses around here,
Yeah.
so that we won't allow our students to go
Akoko,
outside
there
the
is
country.
something that you do not understand.
I do understand.
Colleges and universities do not just offer programs.
Yes.
Programs are approved. And there is a procedure of approving programs to be run by institutions.
Yes.
So you cannot just wake up one day and say, now today I have, let us change Migori TTC
Did
to
you
a
people carry
TVET.
out public participation before you settled on such
Bringing professionals
Together, that's
together meant a public participation was done.
Where?
We conducted
Public-
public participation in which school?
Or you
St.
people
George's,
just-
eh?
George's.
St. George's.
Or do you people just wake up one day?
No,
and
no,
say,
no.
We are bringing
These
this
are-
thing
these
here.
Akoko, these are facts.
Today I'm dying.
These are
Everybody
facts.
gang-
These are
gang-
these are facts.
Akoko, you have to listen.
And he need to join that
Yes.
professional
You need
body
to
so
listen.
that you can also
See,
help us.
What we did through
Public
the help
participation
of
first.
Mwalimu.
Well, sir,
Just give him time. Give him time first.
What we did through the help of Mwalimu first is to identify a
The
professional
need.
within our locality.
Yes.
Upon identifying
So that was a
this,
public
listen,
participation.
listen, just listen. You always say a good listening is part of learning.
Yes.
So learn. So with that, with
Why
the
must I
professionals,
learn?
we came together.
Yes.
Among the professionals, we had those who are teachers, we had
Engineers,
journalists, we had
surveyors,
engineers, we had surveyors,
Teachers.
just within our locality. And we said, as
This is the
professionals,
washing
how can we help
Yes.
these young people who just came
those
out
were
of
professionals meeting.
Wait.
Public
We
participation.
are giving you.
You must differentiate
Wait.
between
We are-
professional
we are-
meeting
we are-
and
we-
public participation.
There is where he's coming to.
That is what I'm coming.
You know, you don't come up
So
with a
after
need
we've done that,
without as a
after
way
we
of
did that,
solving the need.
This is where I stay.
Listen,
I stay around here.
Listen.
Hadn't seen such like public participation being
Listen.
conducted.
It is
everywhere.
because you don't take your time
Don't
to
I do.
you
I
don't
do. I do. This gentleman.
you don't
this-
take your
this gentleman here-
Akoko does not take time
this gentleman here-
to know what takes place in
I
the
know,
community.
Mwalimu. I know what's happening.
Because
Next time when
if you do not
Mwalimu,
know,
Mwalimu.
remember yesterday.
Mwalimu,
No,
let
let us not go personal. But remember the statement of area member of parliament. It's not that I'm supporting him. If you are there in that function where we had some activity in Migori Primary,
You refer to him.
he said, wait, let us not talk about the issue of MCA. But he said, those who join different TVETs will be funded next week. Now, why were they being funded if there was no need or if there are no students in those institutions? So at times we need to also to take time. As much as we have political differences, we need to take time to listen and to do things which can help the community.
Mwalimu, let me tell you something. Anytime you are meeting as professionals, remember that is not a public participation.
Okay, he was almost coming. He was coming to you.
You are
Let me have-
We know what-
able to listen to what I'm saying.
speaking to a
We know.
professional. Let me
Listen,
speak
We
to
know.
a
I'm
professional.
equally a professional.
In that
He was just,
See,
Mr. Koko, he was telling you the procedure we followed,
We followed.
and what we did finally
Yes.
to conduct a professional, and then to conduct the public participation, and through that public participation, we managed to get so many students
Mwalimu,
Yes.
who are not
Mwalimu,
able to join.
Mwalimu, you are confusing me.
Yes.
Listen.
Did you have a public participation or you had a professional meeting?
Okay, now let me explain.
Let him
that.
explain
Now
to you.
listen,
Let him explain to you.
I've asked a
A
question.
professional meeting.
You have
to
asked
me.
a
Be attentive. Be attentive. Let him
Akoko,
let him
you
complain.
asked
You've
a
asked a
question.
question.
Now,
Let-
listen.
Yes,
listen,
just to be a
let me
good
answer
listener.
now.
Yes.
Now, after the
You should also
professionals
be a good
sat,
speaker.
listen, after the professionals sat down, we delegated. Now we said, let us go to our community let us announce the day we are going to have a meeting with everybody.
Everybody, including the students.
Our community, the parents, the students, those who are, plus the
Where
professionals.
Where we were going to
Listen,
St.
we
George's.
met at St. George's.
Show me the minutes.
The minutes are there with the secretary. You need the minutes.
I need to show you the minutes.
One thing that we need to one thing that you need to agree. Mr. Coco, one thing that you need to agree.
Mwalimu,
Yes.
allow me speak.
Yes.
Like he said it. A good speaker must also be a good listener.
But you are not listening. Don't use that term.
Mwalimu,
Don't
saying
use
this.
that term
Mwalimu.
to press us down.
Mwalimu, I'm not trying to criticize everything.
Yes. Where there is credit, give credit.
Yes.
Where I only give the credit where it dues. As a citizen, I'm bounded by a rule of law.
Yes.
Yes.
Mwalimu chapter 6 of the
Constitution,
of Kenya
yes.
talks about leadership and
And
integrity.
Integrity Act.
Are you getting me? Anytime you have such like ideas, please tafuta ule mwenye anavuta bangi nje, tafuta ule mama mboga pale, so that we bring them together. We tell them we want to do A, B, C, D because of A, B, C, D, not just
Now let me tell a Coco. Let me tell a Coco get this one. Get it very right. That is now you are coming up to where he was almost taking you.
Yes.
You remember why was this? No, just get it right from me.
Confusing.
Why do you think we were coming up with the professional bodies, and why were we going to the community now to talk to parents and the students to go to TVET? We were trying to reduce some of the challenges that we've always seen in our village, and you have mentioned some.
Yes.
That there are those who are too much in taking bank. We wanted to say we do not want a situation whereby these young people are maybe involved in activities that can make them lose their life. And this is why that was one of the need, what you have mentioned. And maybe my fellow presenter, my colleague, we need to involve people like Akoko to help uplift.
Actually, what we want,
Yes.
Akoko as a community where it comes from,
Yes.
come to us, borrow the idea,
Yeah.
go and implement it. If you go to that community,
Yes.
in the Milimani
It
community,
will help you.
you will find that the number of
Let me tell you what I've been doing back at home.
listen, that is what you have been doing.
Let me
Listen,
tell
Akoko, the
you.
problem, you are not a good listener.
Listen first.
You
Even
can't
though you
take
push us to
14,
listen.
20 minutes talking.
Now between us, between me and Mr. Dave, and you and us, who
Shorten
has
your
been
one so
speaking
that
more?
Do you have evidence over what you've done for your community
of course,
members?
I have. Let me tell you what I did.
Can you show us?
Let me tell you what I did.
Have you done it here? Because this is where you spend most of your time.
No. This is my working place. I'm from Central Sako.
Now get this. Where I work for the nation, I can count the number of learners whose lives are going to change because of my initiative. When I come back home, I can count the number of learners. In fact, this is something we've been doing for over 5 years now.
Mwalimu, you've asked
So
me
we
a
want you when you work here, bring some change so that when you
I've
go,
done so.
when you go,
Bible iterates. Kenye umepeana achich achama sione.
no.
I can't mention.
When it comes to helping these young people, when it comes to helping young people,
people's life, that is good.
that is good. And it's what we are doing.
I applaud you people.
Yes.
The only important thing that you need to do, let us change this society where we come from.
That is it. That was our
God
point.
knows the reason as to why you are in that position.
Yes.
As much as I criticize, I will criticize this thing very positively. The issue of Rome University, to me, anyway, you the professional, you've done it. So, but next time, should you have such like the problem with our leaders, you people, you don't consult.
Well,
Consult.
the issue of Rongo University coming to Migori is a well researched. It's a well researched. And remember when these people went when these people went to
a very fake research did by a poor researcher.
A poor researcher. You can't say that.
No public participation done. Member Suna West Member of Parliament.
Akoko now I can agree you are a visitor here.
I'm not a visitor.
This is something that started 7 years ago, over 7 years ago.
I came here in 1992.
This thing started long time ago.
Here. My grandchild is married here. So
The issue of bringing the issue of bringing a university to Migori is not something of yesterday. It's something that started so almost 9-10 years ago. It's only that we are succeeding this year.
Now, this year.
As
Yes.
a professional, let me wish my colleagues all the best. Hii shule ikienda vizuri.
Now that is good.
No, we don't only need you to wish them well.
Yes.
We need your input.
We need your
We need
input.
champions.
Yes. Yeah.
Because number one, it is going to make Migori look different.
As a media personnel,
How making me good different, yet we are taking children, students
as a media personnel, we want your contribution.
Yes.
When you go to talk to the people, the viewers, try to tell them that there is a university that has just started in Migori.
Yes.
Let them bring, and remember,
I've taken more than 250.
we want you now. We want you to.
students.
We want you to bring them here now, so that we can develop this university. Remember, the advantage that we are going to have.
We had Kisi
Stakeholders agreed that those who will join this university that is just starting, will only pay 20%, and that is an advantage that you can take.
20%.
20% of the total fee.
The total
Who will
fee.
pay?
The stakeholders will pay
Pay the
80%. So that information you should take to the public,
Okay.
so that they can enjoy. That is current.
Mwalimu, how I wish you people ought to have given this a different approach. Remember, we once had Kisi University here.
Yes.
It failed. We had Maseno University here. It failed. We had the University of Nairobi. The only university with the article there. The
Yes.
University of Nairobi
Yes.
failed. We've seen all these institutions failing. They come and go.
Do you know
We only have one institution here. That is Elgon View College, Migori campus. How I wish I had time, I would have actually explained how it started. Now they have their own building up there. Mwalimu.
Now let me explain
come
something.
together.
Let me explain to you something
let's
that you
come
do not
together.
know that made
Let's
those
come-
universities
let's
to
come
fall.
together. Let's come together. Let's come together. Particularly, you the professionals, bring the political class, educate them. Keep quiet. Be a good listener. Listen.
You have been talking for so long.
Educate them, Mwalimu.
Yes.
Tell
You have
them,
been talking for so long.
should
You
you
know,
do
if you
A,
say
B,
we
C,
professionals,
D,
We will fail.
we will prosper.
Yeah.
Should you do A, B, C, D, we will fail.
Now,
That is what we've done now.
So engage them.
That is what we've done.
Keep on engaging them, because I've seen
Akoko, I want
you
you to
behave
listen
very
to
differently with
I want you to listen
with
to
the
this,
others.
Akoko.
You behave very differently with my
No,
good friend here.
no, Akoko, I
Now
want you
that
to
I
listen
can
to
buy
this.
that idea.
I want you to listen to this. You know, if you start saying that you professionals, it is like
Say us,
You are
the
taking
president.
out-
You are taking yourself out of it.
Come back here.
say we professionals.
He's talking about
Not
the issue
you
of this region. I'm not talking about this region.
So
Help us.
Akoko, what we've done now.
I applaud him.
What we have-
People are doing a tremendous
Yes.
job. A job well done. That is why he said, bring all these politicians, and most of them are very literate.
That is it.
No, that's not a good statement.
That is not a good statement.
I've never mentioned anyone's name, brother.
But you say this.
When you say politicians are illiterate,
are illiterate, that is
Most of them.
that
most
means
of them-
that means
most of them-
we are
okay,
showing disrespect to our
No,
leaders.
No, no,
We have
Leaders.
to respect
Okay,
our leaders.
most of our politicians are ignorant. Let me use the word
At least
ignorant.
ignorant sounds better.
Yeah.
Because
And
what
ignorance has no defense.
You see, if you say you are
Before a court of
ignorant,
law, ignorance has no defense.
What we
So
have
there is
done,
no difference between illiteracy
no,
there.
no.
Akoko, what
That is-
Akoko,
It is okay.
Akoko, what has happened now? Most of those universities you've mentioned were started in private entities, and that majorly contributed to their
Falling.
their downfall. I happen to have taught students at Kisii University, many students, and I believe that one you know. Look at the impact that Kisii University brought to the Migori people for the short duration that it was here. We can talk about now over 50-60% of people getting jobs because of the good work we did when the university was here. Now that we have a university in a public entity, if they failed because they were in private entities, now we have it in a public entity
Where they will not pay the rent.
where they will not pay rent. We have subsidized some costs.
Yeah.
Do you see any sign of it failing?
And remember, now, the universities that now will come.
Management,
For example, if
management,
TTC,
management is the most important
it
thing.
is
The
okay,
management,
Akoko,
Mwalimu.
Akoko.
You consider
Akoko,
the
I want you to
management.
listen to this.
Should
Akoko.
management be okay?
Yes.
Then
Akoko.
I don't want this thing to fail
Akoko,
again.
I want you to
will
listen
not.
to this.
Because
I want you to listen to this. Now, Mr. Dev has said that before the universities you have mentioned did not survive because they were on private entities. Now, this is a public university that we are talking about.
Yes.
By the time that students will be applying in the course, you'll find that some students, not only from Migori, from other regions, will be coming to Migori TTC or Migori University.
And that his idea now will help us because
Yes.
when funding is done to our students in Homa Bay,
Yes.
it means the funds they get from the government will be developing Homa Bay. So when these people come here, the funds they'll be given by the COOPs will be developing Migori. So I think
Mwalimu,
when we come to
Mwalimu,
what do you conclude over this issue?
Mwalimu, the same institution
Yes.
had a branch at Nyatike.
Yes, Rongo University.
It's never succeeded. That is why I'm saying you bring these politicians together so that Migori TPC here is better placed.
Yeah,
Are you getting me?
yeah,
So let us work together
as a team.
as a team. Let's have a teamwork.
And that is what is
This
currently
team will be
happening.
Successful.
You saw area member of parliament of Rongo, Awendo, Migori, the governor, Nyatike, these people together, regardless of their political differences, they went to the president and requested the president to bring some development. And that is one of the development that we believe the president is bringing to the people of Migori.
Another thing.
Because
another
of the
thing,
interest of time,
another thing.
Akoko.
I think we need to give this debate another time.
Yes. Now, because of the interest of time, now CBC. you
Yes.
see in the cover page of the People Daily newspaper, CBC crisis over lab shortage.
Yes.
Lab.
That is only a lab shortage. I want you to help us to understand the idea behind CBC, even before we get to the shortage of laboratories. And now, I learned yesterday that it is now shifting from being
CBC to CBE.
What is happening? What is CBC? What is CBE? What does it entail?
Now, when you look at the way there is a system in which the government works. Number one, with the Presidential Working Party report, see the junior school is domiciled in primary school. That was a recommendation, that the junior school be domiciled in primary schools. That has really brought a lot of changes at the primary level. Number one, we see now almost every school has a new building. there were some schools with all the buildings very old. But when you go to all schools now, the schools have new buildings, and that is through the effort that was that has been done by President William Ruto. Number two, we have trained. I'm one of
CBC came into being before President Ruto.
Yeah,
But
he was in power by then.
He was the deputy president.
Yeah, so there are things that happened before him, but when we talk about the Presidential Working Party, the Presidential Working Party, that has happened during President William Ruto's tenure in office. So number one of the changes that we've seen, we have almost all schools with the new buildings. Number two, we have a higher percentage of teachers being involved in being employed in junior school. Number three, we have trained teachers. We have trained so many teachers on the issue of lab. You know, parents may be complaining that we do not have labs in schools. How do these learners go about learning science? So we have trained, and maybe that requires another day so that I can explain to the general public how it works. We've trained teachers on what we call the virtual lab. For those schools that may not manage to get all that is required in the lab. Then the government is planning to construct laboratories in all schools, all public schools.
Planning and learn.
There is the solution to the labs being not there is we have already trained teachers on the virtual lab. I know you may not know much about it because it's something which is new. Apart from that one, in the allocation of junior school, there is an allocation for, there is money given for the lab equipments, the CBC lab equipments. That one is there. So this virtual lab is all about how do they now go about using the available resources to help learn the related subject. Because you see, lab does not necessarily mean building. When they have knowledge and they have materials, then they can use even one of the extra classes. Remember now we have the CB6, grade 1 to grade 6. So it means we have some extra classes at primary side. So they can use that one extra class. They have the knowledge, they have the materials to help learners to achieve what they are expected to achieve according to the curriculum design. So maybe after the budget, you will again see the phase one of doing away with classes has already been done. Now the government is going to construct the laboratories in all schools. And I think that will help solve the problem of how do we go about the sciences.
Okay. I want you to, Akoko, do you have a question? Yes. I want Molemu to help us understand something.
Yes. Molemu, previously,
yes.
it was CBC.
Yes.
Today,
we talk about CBE.
Why?
Yes.
Another thing, previously, mathematics was optional.
Yes.
Today, mathematics is a must. What is happening? Does it mean that the government was not prepared?
Now, let me explain something on mathematics being compulsory in the junior and senior school. We all know something about the Vision 2030. By 2030, the Kenyan government was expecting, we were expecting that we would be industrialized by 2030. But seemingly, because of the challenges, one of them being the financial challenge, we may not realize that. And currently we have Vision 2050, Vision 2056. I don't know if you
Vision 2030
have
never
you
materialized.
yes, it never failed. And it failed.
Now you people have jumped to
not us, the government. And the government is you. The government is you. Is your contribution.
The government that is supporting failed tremendously. They had Vision 2030, they failed. Now they have jumped to Vision 2056.
I just want.
Let me help Akoko understand.
Yes, yes.
Akoko, you may have a plan.
Yeah, but you may not meet the plan.
That within this duration,
I will do this.
time to this time, I want to accomplish this. But because of things
That you cannot avoid.
because of influences, you find yourself that you have not achieved what you wanted to achieve within this stipulated time. What will happen? It will mean that if you are a clever person, you push what you want to do ahead.
Yeah.
That is what the government has done. We learned by 2030, Kenya
Was to
no
be
means
industrialized.
was not going to achieve its dreams of being industrialized. That is what happened.
Then they also have apologized to Kenya.
No.
You know, we as Kenyan citizens, we may not be in the planning.
As an apology.
You know, we have the policy makers,
Yes.
and you said through public participation, which has always been done. They consulted, and everybody's view, they came to an agreement that it be adjusted to help meet or mitigate against what they did not achieve. Now, let me say something briefly on CBC and CBE. It's when we talk about the CBC, CBC is all about competency-based curriculum. And when we talk about the CBE, we are talking about the competency-based education. The competency-based curriculum and competency-based education, they are not all that different. They are not far apart. But there are just a few areas where they differ. For example, when we look at the structure of the CBC and the structure of the CBE, we can say that the CBC is structured around learners achieving the learning outcomes. And when we talk about learning outcome, you remember during your time, I don't know, which year did you did you sit for your KCSE or KCPE?
I did my KCSE in 1991.
Oh, so the terminologies that
you people will
you're saying I was still very young.
You were young by then.
Akoko, are you sure that you are older than me?
Yes, of course. My body size and then start judging me.
Yeah, so we say that the CBC is organized around learning outcomes. But when we talk about the CBE, we are now looking at a situation whereby learners are given opportunity to learn at their own set pace. And this is supported by some other theories that we can maybe look at later. That learners have, maybe one of them is the Gardner multiple theory. That learners have different capabilities.
Yeah.
The way we look at things, even the three of us, may not be the same. You may find that Gagi, an issue is raised, he's very fast to come up to look at it and even to come up with a solution to help solve that problem. But I may not be able to do that within a very short time. So I take time. So given that, CBE now advocates for learners getting time to learn at their own pace. And learning does not necessarily to be done the way we've been doing it, where learning must take place in class. The CBE now allows learning even to take place online, not necessarily in a restricted classroom environment. So you can learn even from even at home.
Under CBE, do we have curriculum activities?
Yes.
Okay.
Under CBC and the CBE, we have activities. These activities will normally help learners to achieve their set goals. And then, mode of CBC is always about learning the competencies. You remember we have the skill, the knowledge, and the attitudinal competencies. But in the CBE, learners are given time, just as I've said. Once they come to terms with what you wanted them to get, they're allowed to progress. And I think that is a 21st century of aspect of doing things, and it is the best.
It is the best.
It is the best.
Now, Mr. Dave.
Yes.
pathways.
Yes.
Nobody understands pathways, including me. I've been struggling to understand what is this pathway. It is like after this school is going to be focusing on this school is going to be focusing on this. How is the government, how is the education sector going to see that this is effective, this is implemented? What does pathway actually entails? I've seen when the producer was projecting some of the what you had issued earlier.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Maybe if you can just project so that I take you through the pathways.
Yes.
Yeah. But as the producer is projecting, there is something that we need to understand, or we need to enlighten our parents on, that taking pathways does not begin from the junior school or the senior school. It begins from the primary level. Remember, we have an assessment, not examination, an assessment that is done at grade 6.
Yes.
And this assessment is called KIPSEA. So this KIPSEA assessment, and not only KIPSEA, it actually starts from the school-based assessment, which we are calling the CBA.
Yeah.
CBA is a kind of assessment that is normally uploaded in the NEC portal, and school administrators are given a password to access the assessment materials. So what happens when this assessment is downloaded by the school administrators? Teachers, including the school administrator, they are given opportunity to give learners those assessments to do. And this accounts only for 20%. 20%. Now, I will also take time to tell you how this 20% comes about. I think this is also something that parents do not, is really confusing parents. Remember, we are saying the CBA is about 20%. Then there is the KIPSEA, which is
80%.
which is 60%. So this CBA, which is done at school level, is a form of a formative assessment. Formative. And when we talk about formative assessment, maybe that I may not explain here, but you just need to know. We have assessment for, assessment of, and assessment as. Assessment for learning, assessment of learning, and assessment for learning. Yeah? So this accounts for 20%. And how is this 20%? We look at the strands. We have strands in these learners are supposed to cover. Then, for instance, if a learner in a learning area called mathematics, in the CBA, the school-based assessment, scores 70%. Remember, we said that for them to progress, the CBA is 20%. So we say if 100% is 20%, but this learner has scored in mathematics 70. So we can compute that one. Then we get a learner who scores 70%. Will get what percentage? That will be cumulated to the final summative assessment, which is out of 60. Yeah. So whatever they get, if you, let's say, if a learner who has scored 70, if we change it into percentage, we get this is maybe, I don't know, that is about 15, yes. Roughly 15. So if this learner has scored 15, then the summative assessment, which is done at the end of the grade, is out of 60. So we take 60, we add to the 15. So that learner shall have scored 75%. So that is now the percentage the government uses to gauge the performance level. The performance, we call them performance level. And remember, we have 4 performance levels at primary level. That is exceeding expectation, meeting expectation, approaching expectation, and below expectation. I don't know if you people are getting it from that kind of explanation. So when you take your child to school at primary level, that is grade 1 to grade 6, you must know that these learners will do at grade 5 and at grade 4 and at grade 5. They will do a school-based assessment that is called, that is formative assessment, and it will account for 20%. And I have said how you will work out the percentage that will be accumulated with the final assessment.
Yeah.
But remember, at grade 3, this is where students are registered for this kind of assessments.
Yeah.
So when you fail to register your child, where they are given some assessment numbers at grade 3, then that will be the beginning of messing up the child. So we need to tell parents and viewers that they should not wait up to grade 6 is when they concentrate in helping their children or the learners. Assistance should begin from grade 4.
Grade 4.
Because grade 4 will impact on grade 6, and that will also impact on grade 9.
9, yeah.
Grade 9. We do not have grade 8 now. So that is primary. Then when we go to junior school, remember that trend will continue. We also have the school-based assessment in grade 7 and grade 8, which will also be 20%. And I have told you how the 20% will be worked.
Yeah.
If they do school-based assessment and somebody scores 90, we compute it. We say 100 is 20, then 90. So the percentage that they get will be cumulated to the final exam, which is called Kijisea.
Yeah.
It is called Kijisea. This Kijisea is done at what grade? At grade
9.
Grade 7, grade 8, grade 9. And that is what will now take them to junior school. So maybe if you can do the projection so that we see the pathways that these students will be taking and how they can go about it. There are key areas that I will, page 5, yeah. There are key areas that I will highlight. One of them is, yes. So what will be guiding the placement? One of them, we are talking about learner-centered approach. We are talking about the equity and fairness. We are talking about inclusivity, and we are talking about transparency. So what is here is, when we talk about number 1, the learner-centered approach, we will be looking at the strength, learner's strength. The learner's strength. That, remember I said that we have different strengths.
Yes.
So you will be placed according to your strength. And this will be influenced by, as we will see later in some other parts there. When they're choosing pathways, a learner will be given opportunity to say what they want to do. Then they will be assisted by their parents and the teachers. So selection will not be done the way it has been happening now. That you just find you did not choose engineering, but because the teacher feels that you are very good in mathematics and related subjects, you just find you are placed in engineering. So here a learner will be given freedom, the teacher and the parent to help them to select what they want to do. Again, another thing that will be very important here, maybe this is something that you will see from the beginning of this term that we are starting. The NEC has designed questionnaires that learners will be given to respond to. And in the questionnaires, maybe a learner is asked, what do you do when you are free? Then this learner will say, I play football.
Now here is where we have the challenge.
Yes.
Parents,
Yes.
because or some teachers.
Yes.
I'm sorry to say, but some teachers do not have time with these questionnaires, and you find that they will just be answering on behalf of the children, or a child has taken to the parent and the answer. And I think the government or teachers need to be enlightened to say this is what we are going to use to get your child's pathway as part of what he's going to do in life. Because even looking at, you talked about the strands and substrands.
The substance, yes.
You find that most teachers, I'm very sorry to say that, they just teach. They don't have time for that. And parents don't understand what are these things, what does that mean?
Yes, when they tick and they tell your learner that they have exceeded expectation. But remember now, this is a national view, and I have given that explanation. Yeah. So you, as the media personnel, you need to keep on reminding parents even on how they get exceeding so when they do those assessments and they get 90, that is not a direct exceeding expectation. But then it has again to be worked out of a percentage, so that we get exactly how to place the learners. Again, another challenge that you've said that teachers do not know. We have already trained teachers on what we expect them to do. And remember, even after training, we don't leave them at that point. We always go and visit them in school to ensure that they do the right thing. So there is no problem when it comes to will our learners be properly placed. So we will be guiding them. We'll be going to school, and you people are also free. The viewers are free to consult with us so that we can also keep on telling them even on how to compute. Yeah, so it's only new teachers who may have challenge in computing. But once they are given good guidance, they just be able to do it.
I never heard you making a comment about mathematics being now optional.
Now he's coming there.
Yes, I'm coming there. I want you to go to page. We are going to jump some other pages, but go to page 14. Go to page 14. Yes, some parts we may not look at now. When you look at that page 14, you now see the categorization of the senior school. We have the pathway, and then we have the pathways, and this is considering even learners with special need. We have some pathways which we will call triple pathway. Triple pathway. Why do we call it triple pathway? These schools will be able to offer the STEM-related subject or learning areas. At senior school, they are again called subjects. The arts and sports and social sciences. If you get a school with which is well equipped, this is done because not all schools are well equipped. There are schools that can only manage two pathways, but there are schools with enough resources that will help them to go about handling all the pathways. And when you check keenly, we realize that all the pathways require the input of mathematics. And that is why now maths, the ministry has seen that is just something that cannot be left out in the pathways. And just as I was explaining the process of transition of learners, where I talked about it will consider, when we are doing selection in placement, we will consider the available vacancies, the vacancies that will be available. As much as we have those pathways, we will not just take, let's say, Rapogi High School has decided to do the triple pathway. Not all our learners will go to Rapogi. When using the questionnaires and those other assessment tools, once we've known the pathway that a learner would want to take, then we will look at the vacancies that are available in that particular institution where they want to go. And in a situation whereby a learner has not managed to go to that school, maybe their choice was Rapogi, which is offering the triple pathway, they will be taken to other schools offering the same. You get that? That is what parents should know. So if Rapogi and Kanga are offering the same triple pathways, and your learner wanted to go to Rapogi and has not secured a chance at Rapogi because of availability of chances, then this learner will be taken to Kanga. You get the concept. And then another one.
And Malemo, under this, do we have national,
county, sub-county?
Yeah.
So the national, the county, and those other categorizations are no longer going to be there. Yes. We are talking about the pathways and not national school and sub-county and the rest. Then it is a very interesting kind of learning.
So the issue of one journey to Maranda.
No, that Maranda is a national school. That one will not be there.
Or Princess Blood.
That one will not be there. It will not be there. They will be placed according to the availability of the chances, and they will also be placed according to the pathways that they have taken. And there are some cases, you find that a learner may not, has gone through the stages and has not managed to reach the final stage. So what will happen? There is what we call double certification. Because you'll find within these pathways, there are some pathways where a learner will do a technical subject, like carpentry or woodwork. And that learner does not want to proceed. With the woodwork course, this learner will be given a certificate. That's why we are calling it double certification. They'll be given, because a learner who has done a lot of metal work, because they will be attached to that's why we are again coming to polytechnics and then the TVETs. So they will be attached to experts from this TVETs and polytechnics, where they will learn the real skills they need for the job market. So in a case where they do not want to proceed, they will be given certificates which will be equivalent to what is needed by the job market. So I think it's a very good system, kind of education, which when we embrace will help learners to...
Now, I want you to help me understand STEM. I believe it is an abbreviation.
Yes.
What does it stand for?
STEM is the science, mathematics, and engineering.
Are they compulsory?
It is not compulsory. For a learner to do STEM-related subjects or learning areas, it will start from which grade? Grade 6. Because maths is cumulative. When they are in grade 7, grade 8, the school-based assessment that they do will help them to be placed. And I have said, in placement, the parties which will be involved. We will look at how your learner has been progressing in different learning areas. And when we find your learner is not able to catch up in some areas that are required in STEM, then they will be given other pathways. So the pathways that are given cuts across all individual differences, and we believe all learners will be placed, including those who will be given double certification, those who will not be able to proceed, who will get certificates that will help them to do other courses in the world of work.
Good one uses is your student to repeat, like repeating.
There will be no need of repeating, because this kind of education caters for all, for the government to come up with this kind of approach in learning. It is a well-researched approach. Yeah, and it is supported by, when you look at the initial page, you look at page 1. When you go to page 1, there are legal provisions where this kind of is page 2. Page 3. Look at page 3. When you look at page 3, maybe go to page 4. When you go to page 4, yes. When you look at page 4, remember these things are not just done. They are anchored on legal and regulatory framework. And one of the framework is the Basic Education Act. We have the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. So there are a lot of things. And that is why we are saying it is not the teacher to do the selection for the learners. Now the current system you just find is the teacher choosing for the learners. They go to the cyber and they say, I have chosen for you 7 or 8 subjects. Here, a learner will be involved. And let us not forget something. Remember, the current learners are enlightened. They are enlightened. Remember, the issue of the AI has made these learners to know a lot, even things we do not know. When you violate their rights, you choose, you force them to do what you want them to do, then these learners can take you to court. So this is something that parents should also know, so that as they help their children to choose on the pathways, then they should not be forced. Their input must be well taken care of. Yes.
So far, we're done with the pathways.
Yes. So it is a lot. Now, there is something that I need to I need to give some clarification on. When you look at those pathways, in primary we have the performance levels. When it comes now to grading, at primary level, we said they are given the gradings according to 4 performance levels. But when they now go to junior and senior school, the grading has again changed. They will have 8 performance levels. That is, they will have, I don't know, that is page, go to page 20. Go to page 20 so that we can see something interesting there. Yes. On the grading, go to page 21. Is it, yeah? 2021, that one. Yes. When it comes to grading at grade 9, in primary, grade 1 to at grade 6, we are talking about performance levels being exceeding, meeting, approaching, and below. Those are 4. But when we go here, at grade 9, now the performance levels are again grouped into 8. That is, exceeding expectation, 8 and 7. Then we have meeting expectation 6 and 5, approaching expectation 4 and 3, and below expectation 2 and 1. Now, why this difference? You'll realize that a learner in the current system of grading has scored 30 and is given below expectation. But another learner who has scored 2 is also given below expectation. So don't you see there is no fairness? Okay. So we have staggered the marks using that computing system. And a learner who, so this below expectation has been divided into 2, below expectation 1 and 2, then approaching like that up to exceeding. So a learner who has scored between maybe 0 to 10 will be given below expectation 2. But the one, okay, will be given below expectation 2. I hope you are seeing the way they are arranged.
Yes.
Are you seeing the way below expectation 2 and 1? Okay? So, when a learner has scored 0 to 10, and another learner has scored 11 to 30, they are all below expectation. But their below expectation is again categorized. Are you seeing that? So that is what is going to happen at grade 9. So that one we also need to know, and it is all anchored in how these learners will be performing in the school-based assessment, which is formative assessment, and in the summative assessment. Summative assessment is done at the end of grade, at the end of a grade. Yes. Then there is something that you also need to know. Remember, at junior school we are talking about Kijisea. What about at grade, at the final grade, maybe grade 12? Senior. Grade 12. How will we now call it? So that they either join the TVET, which is also well structured. There are those learners who will be joining the TVET, but there are those learners who will still be moving on with maybe the sports and the social sciences like that. So at that other level, we are calling it the KCBE. KCBE. KC. So these terminologies parents will take time to understand them. Remember, we are starting with the SSBA, school-based assessment. Then we are going to KIPSEA. Then we are going to Kijisea.
So school-based assessment from grade 1?
School-based assessment grade 4 and 5. And I've said school-based assessment comes from NEC to the school portal.
Yeah.
So the challenge that may finally be here.
So here there is no competition.
No competition.
Students.
No competition.
No grading.
There is grading.
There is grading, but that grading.
There is no grading of putting people number 1, number 2, number 3. No. Yes. Learners are grouped. Remember, if we look at grading system there, where learners are below expectation, you are below expectation because of your performance level. But it is not that you are below expectation, because if we say below expectation 1 and 2, yeah? If in this current grading, how will you now put them? Don't you see there will be totally no grading that is currently done, that encourages competition. Remember here, every learner is a winner. Learners who cannot go for sports will automatically go for the STEM, and those who cannot go for STEM will go for the technical related subjects.
So learners here, they are able to find where they fit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you will find where you fit depending on how you've done the school-based assessment, how you've done the formative and the summatives. And again, what you want, what your parent want, and the guidance that has been given by the teacher. So everybody is involved. Yes.
Well, can't you say this form of education is so expensive? Where did the government come with this idea? Because we've seen a good number of parents. They have been agitating, complaining. This system is so expensive.
I think the reason as to why parents normally complain, you remember when you have not understood something, I think that is a gap on the part of the government. Parents have not been oriented, because some of these issues I'm telling you now, they could be new to you.
Actually, they're totally new.
They could be new to you. So we need to orientate parents and tell them what is happening. Like now when parents are told,
civic education.
We need to conduct some civic education for parents, because now when you tell parents that performance levels are 8 and at the same time performance levels are 4, and we tell them that like when they come to you with their school-based assessment result, and you find your learner scored 60 and is given maybe approaching expectation, you know, you may complain, my child scored 60 and here my child has scored 45, maybe 45. So they need to understand how this 45 is coming about, how the grading system is done. So civic education, I think, should be done. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dave. We are really humbled because of the time that you've taken to come and help us understand this together with the parents.
Yes.
But I really hope we will get much of this time. I know you are always away, very busy, to find time to be here sometimes. The other time you really gave us a lot of insight.
Yes.
And today, the show today has been very informative and educative.
Yes.
So I believe next time you'll get time.
I will.
We'll organize something to see how to reach out to our parents, how to reach out to the general public with this, because this is very important. Now, as we sum it up, let me give a Coco to say a word. Then after Coco, then I'm going to give you time to summarize in totality what is here in a minute. Coco.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gagi. It was a pleasure having an expert, educational expert. Thanks very much, viewers, for your sufficient time too. The week has just begun. Let's ensure let maintain calm and peaceful coexistence. Even if we are approaching political period, let's respect each and everyone's life. Today we'll have Senator Richard Onyonka, Kisii Senator. We'll have an interview with the Kisii Senator, Honorable Richard Onyonka at Onagi FM. So kila mtu tune into Onagi Radio 98.1 FM. We'll have one-on-one interview with the Kisii Senator Honorable Richard Onyonka.
At what time?
At around 8 p.m. Listen to Onagi Radio. It is okay. Thanks very much for your sufficient time. God willing, we shall meet here. Have a nice time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dave.
Yes, to my presenters, thank you for this kind of invitation. When you get time again, kindly just call us. We'll be willing to come and help our parents and the general viewers to understand some of the issues that may affect them when it comes to the current trend, the current system of education. Let us also be concerned about our learners. Let us actually get our time to see what they do, and also to see if teachers do it the right way. Yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, I forgot about something.
Yes.
We've seen TSC complaining about MPs, member of parliament, being issued with calling letter. Calling letters. Peana Walimu, instead of giving these letters to trained teachers, these letters are being taken back to member of parliament. Are you getting me?
Yes.
So, will there be justice here? Hapo unaona kwamba mambo itakuwa na sababu labda you don't support this MP.
You are denied the opportunity. Now that one, I can just in brief say that personally I work with the Teacher Service Commission. What I know, the TSA recruitment is always very transparent. And remember, we have a system of even scoring, teachers scoring themselves. It's not us scoring the teachers. But we've designed a template where each and every teacher scores himself or herself. And the issue of politicians coming in to dictate how the commission works, I think that one is out.
Out of order.
That is not there, because if it would have not been very fair, then teachers would be agitating all over. But you don't see teachers cry. Even after leaving the interview, we don't do interview. We only do verification, where you score yourself, and the chances are given according to merit.
Okay.
So maybe some issues are just speculations.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Dave. Thank you so much, Akoko. Today, for the first time, I focused quite longer.
I was thinking to the professional. I really was listening.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.
Mwalimu has been playing full here because if he gets back to political side, then things are much more hotter. That is why he keeps on crying. Thank you very much.
Yes.
This gentleman here, Mr. Gangi, has been crying full every now and again.
Like
today I was quiet because
yes.
And the step.
Yes.
They were there.
He was following. He was following.
So I really wanted Mwalimu to engage me. You can't be. You can't pretend to be knowing everything.
That is true.
We had a professional here, so I had to give him time.
Yeah.
But to be very honest,
Yes.
I've learned a lot.
Yes.
Kumba, I didn't know that I was a little bit behind. It is good to appreciate.
That is all.
I've really learned a lot. I've been having the problem with my wife and children back at home.
Yes. But now there is a solution. You've gone home with a solution.
Because during our days, the last time I departed 90%, 80%, 100%.
Yeah.
But now this anakuja at exceeding expectation.
Now
I was
go.
asking her, what is this? Exceeding expectation. Then my wife asked me, are you a journalist?
So you can now go and explain it better to them.
So I want to tell my brother here, you don't need to politicizing everything.
I haven't.
Are you getting me?
I've not.
And should you call a prophet like this, give him time to what? To speak. Don't.
Thank you so much.
To bring it to a close. Thank you so much, Mr. Dave. Thank you so much, Akoko. Thank you so much, producer. Thank you so much, my co-host Lennox Odede. You are also there today. You are in the cameras.
Yes.
We are so much grateful. Thank you so much.
He's my friend. He's my friend. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, the same time, the same place. We will be bringing you informative discussions like the one we've had today. And we are very much grateful. We don't know what awaits for us, but Senator Onyonka will be in Migori town. Akoko will be hosting him. So please keep tuned to Nagi FM. And remember also, BTV also brings you photography, videography that is in our other company known as Blackman Studios. You can get indoor video shoot, you can get outdoor video shoot, videography. We also offer services such as live streaming. So Mwalimu, if in case you people have event of live streaming, BTV will be there to provide it for you. Remember to reach out to us here. You know, we always say Blackman Studios, we give quality. That's what we give. So always remember us. My viewers, remember to visit us at Onyinjo Tianjege stage, or you can just make a call. We come to where you are and we'll be giving you the best. Remember, we also offer services such as branding, or we also do printing, general printing, and all sorts of media graphics and design. Remember to reach out to us. Thank you so much for keeping tuned to BTV. Thank you so much. Although the program was a bit long today, but we are grateful. It was much of informative. Have a lovely day. Let us meet tomorrow, the same place, the same time. Thank you so much.
Bye.